Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Live with the Times. Grateful to be here. This is the fourth Aliyah here in Lech Lecha that we'll be going over today. And this is honestly like an absolutely fascinating Aliyah, fascinating part of the whole Torah. There's certain parts that are just so, the whole Torah obviously is like a code book, right? Hashem looked into the Torah and created the world. And now that we have code, we can understand, right, why it's important that every single letter should be where it is. If you're writing code and you're missing one little squiggly guy, the whole thing's gonna be broken. Same thing here. Missing a colon, you're missing, right? But here, any letter, any word that's missing is gonna throw everything off. And so this is such an amazing part, like I said, of the Torah, right? Where it's this war of the kings, this epic war of the kings. It reads like Star Wars, or it reads like something that we're going through here in Eretz Yisrael the last year, right? I remember last year talking about the war of the kings and what happens over here. They go and take take them captive as a hostage. Hashem should return all the hostages now, and see an end to everything in the best way possible for Eretz Yisrael to be secure borders forever. And so it says the war of the kings, right? It starts off with saying Amraphel, king of Shinar, right? And then it goes on to talk about Chadolamor, king of Elam. And it's very interesting, right? Because it talks about how Amraphel is Nimrod, the very Nimrod that had thrown Abraham into the furnace in Ur Kasdim, that he had said, okay, here's you believe in God, let's throw you in the furnace and see if God will save you. And that his brother also tried the same thing, and he was eaten alive, right? Because he's like, okay, well, if it works for Abraham, it worked for me, not because he had true emunah, right? So you can't fake it in that regard. But also, Chadol Amor, he's the son of Elam, son of Shem. He's the son of Noah. Right, it's very interesting. Later on, it comes and talks about Melchizedek, and Melchizedek is actually Shem. Once these kings are defeated, right? And what happens over here? Abraham Avinu, first and foremost, it's just a very cryptic thing, right? And you look at the words, right? It's talking about Soar, right? Talking about the words that it's using, Ein Mishpat, Hu Kadesh, and just to delve into just the reasoning for these words, why they appear here, where they're used as like proper nouns, but as we know, it's much more than that. Anyways, I'm getting off track. The point is this, is that hidden within here is a couple of verses that are just absolutely incredible, right? Where it's talking about where he was taken captive. And it says, Vayavo Hapalit v'yagei le'Avram ha'ivri v'hu sochen belonei mamre hamori achei eshkol v'achei yana v'hem ba'alei berit Avram. That it says Hamapit, Hapalit. I'm sorry, Hapalit. Vayavo Hapalit. What is this? It says there came Vayavo Hapalit, is this fugitive came and told Abraham, Ha'ivri, the Ivri, the Hebrew, who dwelt in the plains of Mamre, the Emorite, the brother of Eshkol, and the brother of Aner. These being Avram's allies. They translate Brit Avram. And who is this Hapalit? I mentioned a couple of days ago that Noah, his campaign had been a complete and utter failure. that Hashem had wanted him to do kiruv, and instead of doing kiruv, he went along with the plan. Instead of fighting for the people, he said, yeah, sure, destroy the people. And I mentioned that one person did get off the island, so to speak, with him. And who was that? It was Og, king of Bashan, the person who became known as Og, king of Bashan, that he survived the flood. He had survived the flood somehow. And waters were around him. He hung on to the side of the teva of the ark, and the waters had been boiling waters. And for him, the waters cooled around him, and he'd survived. He was the only survivor besides those that were in the ark, and he was descendant, last one of the Rephidim, these fallen ones, Nephilim, these fallen ones. Torah is talking about in Parsha Bereshit, these giants, these land of giants that had been in existence at that time. He actually was survived, and while Moshe Rabbeinu later on, when he would face off against Og, he would say, Hashem would tell him, "Don't be scared of him. I've delivered him into your hands." You wonder why would he be scared of this guy? He's not scared of anybody. Moshe Rabbeinu is not scared of anybody. He was seeing that over here, there's no such thing as coincidence in anything in life. That the fact that he had survived the flood was not a coincidence, and the fact that he had saved Abraham Avinu, so to speak, right? He came and he told Abraham Avinu about Lot, and Abraham Avinu goes and saves Lot, which we'll get here in a minute. But he knew that there's some sort of merit that corresponded to Og, right? So then what happens here after that? And then it says, Vayishma Avram, ki nishba achiv, vayarek et chanichav, ולידי ביתו 18 וירדוף עד דן. 18 So what does it say? It says that Abraham heard that this fugitive who ended up being Og, came and told Abraham, yo, they took your nephew. What happened? Abraham heard, and he got all of his kinsmen, his servants, all the people that he had been converting, bringing close to Hashem. He armed his disciples, the people that had been coming close to him, that had been born in his house. How many? There were 318, and he pursued them as far as Dan. And he ends up going and helping Lot and bringing him out, saving him. And so, interesting enough, this verse, there's so many hidden things. There's a hidden name over there in the first one, that it's actually Nimrod. Then it's Elam, and now this is Og. And over here in this verse, right, it's the sages say, Rashi says actually, that this was Eliezer. That it was some of this commentaries say that Eliezer went alone with Abraham, that it was only Abraham and Eliezer, who later on will learn, right, his main disciple, his main chassid of the Rebbe of Abraham Avinu. And that just the two of them, they went and they killed all the kings and defeated this war and everything, and took Lot out. And some say, no, what do you mean? It was actually 318. Where do we get Eliezer? Eliezer is the gematria 318. So some commentaries, they say, what do you mean, Eliezer? You can make anything up. 313 corresponds to 248, right? That what it corresponds to actually is that Avram heard that his kinsman has been taken captive. Who's his kinsman? Right, we're talking about Lot being the evil incarnation, right? But also, right, in a certain sense, right, in another way, kinsman here, in a deeper meaning his companion in this world, right? Even our evil incarnation, right? We have our neshama that we talk about in the Lost Princess is taken down in captivity here in this world. We also see here the incarnation was taken down. So what happened? He armed his disciples, 318. Zohar says 318. What is 318? 318 corresponds to the 248 positive commandments, right, and the 70 lights of Kedusha. That he took this, and with this alone, we descend into the world, and we're able to come, and we pursue them as far as Dan. We pursue our enemy as far as Dan. Sitrach, or the other side, as far as Dan, meaning what? This is way before Dan, 100 years before Dan, the actual tribe is born. So Dan corresponding to Din, to judgment of the end of days. That we're in this battle to the end of days. Seems like I'm all over the place here, but let me wrap this up all together very nicely. Yaakov, or Moshe Rabbeinu, was scared of Og. Why was he scared of Og? Because Og had survived the flood. He knew that he had some sort of merit. What merit? The end of life before the flood was filled with debauchery, was filled with all kinds of sexual deviance, and that this was the main thing, one of the main things in addition to robbery, that was a motivating factor to destroying the world. People refused to procreate. It said the world is cruel. It's cruel to bring kids here. It's child abuse, God forbid. We shouldn't bring people to the world. The world is overpopulated already. There's not enough resources for everybody. We have to limit the amount of births here. And besides, once you give birth, you lose your beauty. So we're going to have multiple wives. Right? This was the flood before, the generation before the flood. Sound familiar? These are the arguments that we hear nowadays. Right? So Og, by surviving that flood, shows that he himself had not committed those crimes. He himself had been Shomer Brit. He had guarded his covenant, so to speak. And what happens later on? He comes here and he tells Abraham that Lot has been taken. And the sages all say it looks like he did a good deed, but really didn't do a good deed, because what he was really thinking was, okay, I don't want to kill Abraham myself, but I want Sarah for myself. I want Sarah. I want to marry Sarah. She's the most beautiful woman in the world. She's my Rebbetzin. She helped bring me close to Kedusha. Her husband bring me close to Kedusha. Wow. I want to be with her. But I don't want to kill Abraham. And I don't want to make her cheat or do something against her will or anything like this. I want it to be like a legal marriage. So what's the best way to do this? We'll invite Abraham over. We'll tell him that, his nephew got killed, and hopefully he'll get killed in battle. And then I'll be able to have Sarah for myself, and it'll be legal. Everything will be nice. So even here, right, the sages all say what a horrible thing this was. That he had ulterior motives. It was not altruistic why he came and told Abraham Avinu. But still, he was rewarded. Right? Rashi says that he was rewarded with the long life that he lived all this time because of this thing. But he also, because he went and Hashem knew it was in his heart, he was destined to fall at the hands of Abraham Avinu's children. But there's something else here. There's a commentary that says that Og is actually Eliezer. Og is Eliezer, that Og becomes Eliezer. That when he came, and it says that the souls that were born in his house, this corresponds to people that he converted, and he had helped Og convert. He had ended up being his main disciple, his main chassid. Right? And once again, later on, when Abraham Avinu wants to find a wife for Yitzhak, spoiler alert, right? Who's he sending? He sends Eliezer. And Eliezer is hoping that his daughter will be the one that will be able to marry Yitzhak. So he's still trying to get in the family. He's still looking for Kedusha somehow. And even when Abraham swears to him that you're going to find somebody not Canaanian, not your daughter, but from this family. He says that it's translated as thigh, but really it touches bris. Right? So here the whole aspect of being shomer bris is so important. And this was really the thing that Moshe Rabbeinu was scared of. He was scared that Og was shomer bris. And that's why Hashem said, no. Don't be scared of him. I'm going to deliver him into your hands. Yeah, he was shomer bris, but he had ulterior motives. It was still good because that's why he lived a long time. Right? He had he had a great life, what can I say? But don't be scared of him. It's not like you. It's not like you that does it for altruistic reasons. Right? So what's this whole thing over here about that Abraham Avinu heard that they had taken his kinsman, taken Lot, and he packed 318 and pursued him and ended up rescuing him. What's the bottom line? Was it Og that went? Right? Was it Eliezer? Was it Eliezer and a bunch of men? Was it Abraham and he went with his mitzvahs, his positive mitzvahs, and with the 70 lights? What is this over here? What does Eliezer have to do with 318 in the end anyways? Right? The bottom line is that he went with Eliezer. What is Eliezer? Hashem, God is my protector. God is my helper. Right? That how the things come about sometimes don't matter as much as our connection with Hashem. Did we go this route or did we go that route? The commentaries can argue about this. Or there's many different paths to the same place. Well, you can see when you're on GPS and they're rerouting you, or you can pick your routes before you leave and you can say, I want to go this way, I want to go that way, I want to go this way. And we're all going to end up in the same place and maybe, hopefully around the same time as well. Some may be closer, less miles, some different. Maybe we're avoiding traffic in one end, so one's shorter, but we're going to get somewhere faster because we're going to go around. Point being is that how we get to the destination is less important. What's most important is Eliezer, that Hashem is my helper. That as long as we keep this in mind, that Hashem is my helper, as long as we learn Torah, and we don't learn Torahs to increase whatever, our ego, our value, to get something out of it, but we're praying to Hashem to help us, please, to incorporate your Torah into my life. As long as we're doing everything with Hashem in mind, we're going to work and we're keeping Hashem, we're realizing that it's not me doing anything, I've got to show up. Right? But is it because of this call? Is it because of that deal? Is it because of this way that I said something in a sales call or anything else? Eliezer, it's Hashem helping me. Right? There's all these cryptic things in the world, all these things that don't make sense, all these things that have deeper meanings. But guess what? In the end, it's Eliezer. It's only Hashem that's helping me. And as long as we can hold on to this truth, that Hashem is the one that's helping me all the time, then no matter what path we're taking, we're going to end up getting GPS redirected back onto the right path, back to the right place, to the right destination, reaching our goal. So we should always be zoiche, to first and foremost, our eyes should be illuminated, to be able to make the right direction, have the right seichel, to make the right decisions, to go in the right direction. But in addition to that, most importantly, we should know that Hashem's running the show. Hashem is our helper. And this way we're going to always be connected with Hashem. Never have any lost motion. Be shomer bris, shomer mitzvot, have the 70 lights, have all the protection we need, have all the strength we need to be able to achieve our goal individually, collectively, nationally, the Jewish people, Eretz Israel, and all the world, really, to have shalom, true shalom. Here in the world, we're building a third temple, coming Moshiach. Turn the hostages now. L'chaim. Thank you.